Welcome to the Ball Not Court podcast. Cortez Paul is here, joined by the usual Paul Mack, who was representing very well, I think, for the most part on CTW. How's it
Busy,
going
busy
there, sir?
boy, busy boy. Last couple of days, but you know what? I'm also a very happy boy. We're a happy boy. We're sitting pretty right now. You know, orange and blue skies forever.
Gotcha,
We're
man.
here.
So, hey, I'm gonna ask you this question, man, and I want to get your words associated with this. So, if I would tell you that the second round started off with every road team winning, how would you describe that before you knew that would happen?
It's wild, man. It is absolutely wild. I feel like Vegas right now doesn't know what to do. Like I'm pretty sure every single one of those games, road underdogs all won. Like I mean, your first. I mean, I don't know if Indiana was favored since all the injuries to Cleveland like this last game, but like as is, like I mean, road dogs are just showing up, and honestly, this is one of the best playoffs I've watched in a long time. Like this is one of the most competitive, exciting. Every game, man, every game has been great. Like I'm literally tuned in every game, both games. If it's a doubleheader, like I'm staying up way past my bedtime. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, man, you're right, man. I was definitely tuned in that to a point, hanging out with some friends at Cinco de Mayo. I was on my phone watching basketball. I mean, these games have been fantastic. I can't even describe just as a fan, just watching this and just the intense and just being a part, seeing the environment, seeing how it goes, and then its punches. So, to a sense, I feel like it's hockey because a lot of games are being won on the road, and it's like in certain unorthodox fashion that this is happening. So I'm just definitely enjoying this from a fan's perspective, and for the teams that are having these roller coasters of joys and sorrows and all the above, man. Watching these teams and watching their teams, like for you, it's been a agony to joy, and for the Celtics fans, joy to agony. So it's just been nuts, man. And this is parody at its finest. And I told people, man, with this whole new CBA agreement and the way the cap is going, it's gonna be like this for a while because it's just gonna you really can't afford to keep some of these teams now. And there's gonna be so much changes that it's really just gonna be competitive. And it's gonna be some games where some lower seeds are really taking it to the upper seeds, man. So from a fan standpoint, this is fantastic, man.
The matchups just all played out really well. Like the way even in that first round, like even though like Orlando, like even though you guys lost to Boston, like it was still a competitive series. Like, you guys really took it to them, and like I can be thankful for that because I feel like that's helping us out a lot in the second round because you were physical and you beat down on that team, and like they're reeling a little bit still, and the Minnesota Timberwolves finally getting over the hump, knocking off the Lakers. Like they're riding that momentum. Like Golden State coming out of the play-in. Like it's just there's so much going on, and it's just like every matchup from this point on is just going to be good. Like it's just there's no like we were talking about OKC and the path that they were going to take, but like Denver, aside from what happened yesterday, like Denver can play them really well, and it's interesting to see like how that's going to flip going back to Denver. I mean, they took the home court back. Like home court doesn't matter anymore in this whole second round, which is like huge.
Yeah, 100%, man. So, speaking of, let's go ahead and dive into these four series, man. We didn't get a chance to kind of do a preview, and honestly, it's we all probably would have been wrong. So maybe glad we didn't do
Mm-hmm.
a preview for the second round. So, but Paul, let's get into it, man. So the next one, 92-91, they're up 2-0. They're going back to the Garden. Uh, you know, taking two games on the road in a tough environment in TD Garden. So I want you to talk to me. What's your thoughts? Well, first of all, before we get into that, what do you expect Game Three to be like when that environment that the Knicks are up 2-0 and going to Madison Square Garden, and this team is up against 2-0 against the defending champions, a storied franchise, uh, team that y'all seen many times. So, what describe to me as a fan? What do you expect that environment to be like?
I mean, the only thing I'm upset about is that it's a 3:30 tip on Saturday. Like I would have much rather like to see that game get pushed into prime time.
Terrible.
So
I agree.
so middle of the afternoon, I'm gonna be at work. Like it's one of those things. But as far as like trying to watch that game, like Madison Square Garden's gonna be popping, boy. Like like that's the thing is you could see in the TD Garden like when the Knicks were making those runs, like the air was just out of the building. Like the crowd almost didn't matter. Like that's not going to be MSG. MSG, that crowd's going to be going from tip to final buzzer, and there's going to be every celebrity and their mama there. Everyone's going to be there. They're going to be doing all this nonsense. They're going to have the parking lots probably going to be packed out. There'll be watch parties happening out there, and it's just playoff basketball is back in New York. We got a 2-0 lead, and we're the New York Knicks, man, and it's just going to be a wild time. And I don't know how prepared for that Boston can be. Like, there's no real way to prepare for it. Like, it's the mecca of basketball. It's the most famous arena. If there's a game you're going to show up for, it's going to be that one. So like, I'm still waiting for the game where Boston does show up, and like I'm kind of over the narrative of like, oh, Boston's 25 out of 100 or whatever on threes or whatever the fuck it is, they're shooting 20% from like, we've started slow every game. Like, we haven't got going yet either. Like, that's the thing, is it's always going to be about what Boston's doing, and no one's looking at the fact that like the Knicks have started off slow both of these games to the point where you know they're making late third quarter runs and then closing out in the fourth. But it's just like, let us start early. Let us get that MSG energy and let us get going in the first quarter, and let us maybe get a lead on y'all
Hmm.
and see how Boston responds, because we see how Boston is playing with the lead. Like, I want to see how they play from behind, because when the Knicks start putting pressure on them, they completely fold, and that's what a lot of these good teams do. Like, even if there's anything against like an OKC, it's like if you get a jump on those guys, like they're really bad playing from behind. Like they don't play from behind a lot. So
Yeah.
like if you could jump on the Celtics and you can kind of build a lead on them, and like the way that our bench is playing, like Mitchell Robinson's playing really well. We're getting quality minutes at Deuce McBride. We're allowing Jalen Brunson to rest like at the right time. Like he's always gonna rest the end of the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter, no matter what the score is. He's gonna rest those first like 3 or 4 minutes. He's gonna come in. He's gonna close the game out. And knowing that you have a team that struggled, I'll be the first to tell you. Like I shit talked our bench all season long. Because my biggest concern was the Knicks bench, but the way that they're playing right now, the fact that we can spell a Jalen Brunson, the fact that we can sit Karl-Anthony Towns, the fact that we can kind of rotate Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, like it's huge, man. And it just shows like that they've just kind of been building for it. Like all those big minutes that those guys played in the regular season, like they're built to close games. And that's, I think, is the biggest difference for the Celtics, is they haven't been in this position to where they weren't in a lot of close games this year. So when it gets down to the nitty gritty and you got to make a play, like who's going to make your play? Because I've been saying this for years. Is I think Jason Tatum is one of the softest superstars in the league. He's a superstar who doesn't want to be a superstar. He wants all the recognition, but doesn't want to do the superstar things. He can stuff the stat sheet all he wants, but if they're down 1 point and there is 12 seconds left in the game, like he's got
Hmm.
to be the guy to take that shot. He can't look to drive and kick and defer that to Jaylen Brown. Like he has to be the guy to get the shot off. And to not get a shot off in 2 straight games when you have the ball last is wild for a team that's the defending champions. That is not champion basketball. And there's a lot more than that going on, but I'll let you see how you feel about it. But like I said, I'm just over the narrative that we stole 2 games. Like you can maybe say we stole the first one, but like we have the blueprint, and Boston's just playing a brand of basketball that is not gonna help them win. Like they're not closing games, and that's more on the Knicks fighting and making those moves versus potentially Boston losing those games.
Yeah.
They will start hitting their shots. I'm sure they're too good of a perimeter team to not start hitting those threes.
Mhm.
But like people just have to look at the fact that like we've literally buried ourselves in a hole those first two games because we just started slow. So
Yeah.
you know,
Nah, man, just watching y'all, man, has just been. It's funny. I saw someone said this about Jason Tatum, and the comparison was drawing the money. They feel like that he is the Paul George of Kobe Bryant's.
no, he's the Kobe Bryant of Paul
Yeah, of Paul
George's.
George. Yeah, I
Yeah,
reversed it. Yeah,
he's the
he is the
best. He's
Paul
the
George of
best
Kobe.
Paul George. Yeah, he's the best Paul George.
Yeah, yeah. Everything with him has got to be finesse and pretty and get out the mud, which is crazy, man. Because early in his rookie years and second and third season, Tatum was more of a driver. So I don't know. Maybe he just started getting some of his muscle and more mass to his body. He just became a shooter, which he can do a very good job at that. But to me, even I said it in the series when they play Orlando, man, Boston is just this super finesse team, and they have been for the whole year. They do a finesse. They really don't have a lot of gritty players. That Marcus Smart type of player is not there
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So yes, they got a lot of talent. Drew Holiday is a beast on the defensive end. You have, Kristaps Porzingis, who's got a lot of length and bottom, but where he's done this period at, he's played 13 minutes in game one and then came off the bench in game two and played 14 minutes and left us with this mysterious illness that he's developed. So where is he at? So a lot of this Boston Celtics team that when they played Orlando, I'm like, this is a finesse team. Orlando has at least of a competent offense. It's been a different series, but Orlando really did kind of dug into them defensively. The Knicks, on the other hand, have someone that can close the game. They have a big man that can score in the post against an older Al Horford and Porzingis who's hurt. So you just match up well with them. So I know a lot of people was putting that, stock into the regular season where they swept y'all. But then again, a lot of the game was early in the season as well too. So New York kind of developed, and I just feel like the Knicks would have got warm, man. I was like, I feel like the Knicks can get warm, man, because you blitz them at a 3-point line, they get flustered and they get overwhelmed and they just forget how to play, which is really weird for a Boston Celtics team that is very fundamentally sound. They move the ball very well. They do defend very well. But I also wondered is this being a championship team getting to their heads? Are they being exposed a little bit? Because me and Paul's been on this podcast talking about, and a lot of people have been talking about their journey to get to the NBA Finals last year was a soft one. So yeah, now you got a particularly healthy New York Knicks team that you're facing, and then if they do somehow by a miracle come back. Pacers are pretty healthy. They get a beat up Cavs team because the Cavs team look kind of hurt right now. We'll cover that in another segment. But you're getting a pretty good physical New York team that play physical. They did lose by the edge when they did lose, Dante and a few other pieces. But the pieces of them still being a physical team, at least physical more than Boston, is there. It is there. So, Paul, I'm just super impressed with you guys. Like the game, yeah, even the game last night, y'all was up. They was up by 20 points. Y'all went on a 38-17 point run in the last 15 minutes. Boston couldn't hit anything. It was over 13. They only had 2 Derek White free throws before Jason Tatum go down the lane for a wide open dunk. It was just a misrep on the Knicks part. And then you said it perfectly on the Celtics Talk Weekly podcast. Bronson had the ball in his hands. He was trying to at least drive to get to the rim or create a opportunity to go to the line, which he did. But he drove to the paint to present that opportunity, and he got to the line. Jason Tatum panicked, got the ball. Realized he had 6 seconds left and then called timeout. He should have called timeout, but he didn't call timeout, and they lose this game. So Paul, your Knicks are in prime position, and I can
It's
tell you, man.
it's such a weird thing too, right? Because like the media after game one is like Boston shoots 63s. Like, what are they doing? This is the stupidest display of basketball I've ever seen. Like, what is this? Like, I can't watch this. they shot themselves out of the game, blah, blah, blah. So game 2 rolls around, and like I'm watching the first quarter, and like they were being super aggressive. Jaylen Brown was getting in the lane, like, they were driving and kicking. It was just a much cleaner offense. Like they were scoring from inside out, and then like they got the lead, and they just reverted back to just fucking shooting 3-pointers, man. And it's like, you ain't shooting threes, bro. Like you ain't making them. Like you have to accept the fact that you ain't making them. And it's weird for like to say this because of like how things have been the last few years, but like Tom Thibodeau is legitimately out coaching Missoula right now. Like, you mentioned is the fact that like this the scheming the game plan, right? Like Karl-Anthony Towns, the self-proclaimed best shooting big man of all time. He attempted 1 3-pointer yesterday. He did all his work in the paint because he had Al Horford on his back. So he's like, "Oh, you're gonna put this guy on me? I'm gonna drop 21 and 17 rebounds."
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't have to stand at the 3-point line. There's no need. Like
No.
Porzingis ain't playing. Like what are they gonna do, bro? Like, and especially like he had a bunch of offensive rebounds. Josh Hart's cutting to the lane. Mikal Bridges. There's just so much movement to be disruptive with the Knicks offense that it's just like versus Boston. Tatum or Brown get the ball at the top of the key. They dribble the shot clock down to like 12 seconds. Then they start their motion, and then it ends with somebody getting shooting a three. It's typically a sidestep three or some kind of weird three. Like it's just not. It's not. It's just a weird offense, man, and it's just an arrogance that they have that pisses me off more than anything. Is the fact of like we're just gonna keep doing it because analytics or whatever says if we make 15 of these, 20 of these, we're gonna win by a lot of points. And it's like, so it doesn't matter if we have to shoot 75 of them, we're gonna shoot 75 of them, and if we make 15, we're gonna win. Like it's at some point like it's adjustments, and I hate like the post game press conferences of like, yeah, it's a make or miss league, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, no, dude, it's not. Like if you took better quality shots, like you ain't gotta worry about it. And people are gonna say like, oh well, if they made one more three, they would have won both of these games. Yeah, probably, but like at the same time, like I said, the Knicks dug themselves in a hole because theoretically, if you played fucking defense, you didn't have to make any more 3-pointers because you were up by 20 in both games. So it shouldn't come down to that either way. Like it's just the fact that your team completely crumbles in the fourth quarter and doesn't know how to play from behind, or when a team is breathing down their neck. That Jason Tatum is 1 for 11 in the fourth quarter in the final 5 minutes. I think it's just the fourth quarter period. He's 1 for 11. His one make was that wide open dunk he had yesterday. Jaylen Brown, like 2 for 10 or something like that. Like it's crazy how like uncomfortable Jason Tatum is with having the ball in his hands at the end of the basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
That like I think yesterday he took like maybe 5 shots in the fourth quarter, and that's your franchise guy. Like he needs to get like Al Horford shot 6 in the fourth quarter. Al Horford took 6 shots. He went 0 for 6 in the fourth quarter. Like Derek White shot like 5 or 6 shots. Jaylen Brown shot 4 or 5 shots. Like the shot distribution that Boston has, like the way Boston plays, because like everyone has this freedom to just shoot, like whatever. Like if you're open, shoot it. Like okay, but like at some point in the fourth quarter, like you have to corral that. Like that can't be the game plan anymore.
Yeah.
Like the game plan has to be like, hey, we're gonna get Tatum and Brown the ball, and they're gonna move the offense. Like, that's how it goes. Like you can't just be like, yeah, if you're open, shoot it in the fourth quarter. No, that's not what happened. That's not how this goes. That's how Al Horford goes 0 for 6, and then the Knicks go on a monster run because you can't score for 8 minutes. Like it's not brain surgery, and it's just Tom Thibodeau has just done an incredible job. And just to highlight that before I pass it back on to you, I did make a little list of NBA clutch time net ratings. So this is your offensive rating minus your defensive rating, and I narrowed it down to the fourth quarter, 5 points or less, under 2 minutes. So not even the typical 5 minutes. I narrowed it down. So 2 minutes left in the game, 5 points or less, And this is when you're behind or tied. So Jalen Brunson is basically a +3 playing from behind with under 2 minutes to go. Luka Doncic, Luka Doncic is a +36.6. That's just because he plays absolutely no fucking defense and he plays all offense. So like that's a little bit skewed.
Yeah.
But like Paolo Banchero is a +8.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards a +14. Giannis a +25. Jason Tatum a -16. That's the whole season. So his offense is 16 points worse than his defensive rating. He just disappears when there's 2 minutes left in the game, and that's supposed to be your franchise guy. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic is a +28. Like numbers don't lie, bro. Like some people have, some people don't. Like I don't care if I don't care if Tatum was a +1, but you can't be -16 when there's
Yeah.
2 minutes to go in the game and the game's on the line.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Nah, for sure, man. And hey, this ain't to my cool people that I know that are Celtic fans, but it's been a little joyous for now. Seeing him crash out about here, but there's a lot of this where they will spoil. They got a ring. We hear about it, but New York right now is bringing it to you. So, but like I said, Game 3 is gonna be pivotal. So we're gonna see how they're gonna come out and respond. And I do expect Boston to go down with they gonna come out fighting, but it's just really just depend how New York's going to get got the crowd behind them. So,
Mm-hmm.
you got Deuce McBride at home, so maybe he'll take off being there. Role players just play better at home, so it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out for sure. The next Eastern Conference series that we have is the Pacers and the Cavs. So, this one here as well was a comeback. This is a home team that this is where three players are missing for the Cavs: Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland, um, and I mean, dude, Donovan Mitchell went off with 48 points, and they was up. And yeah, so Halliburton came in a game-winning shot. Kind of like Reggie Miller s. It was kind of like so. Talk to me about this game. Talk to me about this series. Both are the top two seeds in the East are down. Down. So talk to me about the Cavs, man, and the Pacers and where they at with this series here.
I mean, this is a classic. This is a classic case of like Cleveland got kind of what they deserve. Like Halliburton's at the free throw line. You're chanting overrated because he was voted the most overrated player in the league.
That your star player is telling you to stop doing
Yeah,
that.
cut it out. And then he's the guy that drops the dagger on you at the end of the game. Like that's a tough pill to swallow. Um, you know, the injuries are the most alarming thing because like we mentioned this months ago, right? When Cleveland was kind of running away with the best record in basketball, where they haven't had any adversity, they haven't had any injuries. They've been pretty healthy for a large part of the season. A couple guys missed some games here or there, but nothing too bad. And then now you get to the postseason where the games matter most, and Darius Garland hasn't played in like a week.
For 4 games.
He's missed 4 games. He's missed 4 games, and then you lose, DeAndre Hunter, who's one of your most active defensive, like, scoring guys off your bench, and great size too. And he's a lengthy guy that could really help around the perimeter. And then obviously Evan Mobley, who is up there with probably most improved player in the league. Like those are huge, and I don't know what it is about the Pacers these last 2 seasons of just like getting these matchups where teams are just hurt. They did it last year. They rode through it last year where teams were just beat up and they took complete advantage. We mentioned Boston doing it, but I think the Pacers had a even crazier road of just like when they played the Knicks were just depleted. The Knicks barely had like 6 guys. You know what I mean? It's just like Indiana just keeps finding a way, man. And they're a deep team. They're a well coached team. Like you feel bad for Cleveland, but at the same time, it's like Indiana has kind of been one of the best teams in basketball since the All-Star break. Like they've really turned it on at the right time. They're one of those teams that got hot late in the year that can ride into the postseason versus like being good all year and then it taking a little bit of adversity to flip your whole season around. Like the Pacers have gotten good at the right time, and like they're fun to watch. Like they are fun to watch. Like this series, even with the injuries, like this series is exciting. It's a great series. Um, that final fucking minute and a half, whatever it was, I don't know what happened. I literally saw like Cleveland was up by 7, then they were up by 2, then they lost by 1, and I was like, "What the fuck? What happened?" And then I saw the highlights. It's just you're missing your star guys, and there were guys in situations that shouldn't have been on the court and they don't know how to deal with it, and that's what happens. But to
Donovan Mitchell was running on fumes, dude.
he
He
left it
did
out there. He left it all out there.
he did everything he could to will this team to a victory. And this flips me on to Darius Garland with a toe injury. Your other guard that played alongside Donovan Mitchell, Ty Jerome, who pointed out I will start for your team to a certain somebody. Went 1 for 14, over 4 from 3, had 2 points. So yeah, the backcourt got 50 points. Donovan Mitchell got 48 of it. Somebody help the man. And Darius Garland, you can't play with a damn toe injury. Get a cortisone shot and shoot your toe up, man. It's go time, man. You guys are #1 seed. And you tell me you can't do whatever it takes to play on that toe, man, to help your backcourt mate. Okay, Mobley's injury a little bit serious. You know that we need to monitor that a little bit. Hunter may come back, but they need some bodies back, man. This is the #1 seed. This is what you guys played for. This you guys had 2 multiple 20-win streaks in the regular season. You changed the coach, and y'all got the coach of the year. And for you to lay an egg against the Pacers right now and can't stay healthy is a problem. Which we can call the Pacers out too. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, Paul. The Pacers have been getting lucky too. I know we talk about the Boston having a Mickey Mouse line, but the Pacers have been getting these little kind of draws too. Where they're getting some easy draws too. So we'll see if they're gonna be exposed later on. But for now, they're doing what they're supposed to do. So I can't really listen. They did what they're supposed to do. They won 2 games on the road and they came back down. But for them to be down for that, missing that many players, Pacers going to get called out. So Tyrese Halliburton actually saved him with that 3. And I like this whole this fan poll is coming out now, or the players poll that saying that certain players overrated, because look how Tyrese Halliburton is playing, man. He's playing with a little bit of an edge, but it's a shame that it needs to be that way. But you're playing a little bit of edge because we know how talented you are.
Well, his dad can't go to the games no more, so
Hey, his dad probably at the house sipping Maker's Mark, celebrating his son 1-2 on the road. So
his dad's drinking Henny, bro.
He's sipping on Henny. But I need to see what is the status. I didn't see anything that changed so far, but I need Darius Garland to wake up, man. I need him to figure this out, man. Because you've been out 4 games with a toe injury, man. Like,
And that's four games like that are spread out. So he's missed probably what, almost 2 weeks,
yeah,
10 days,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Like you gotta figure it out, bro. You gotta be out there for your guys.
Matt Strus had a heck of a game. Like, he did all he could. I know he made a mistake at the end, but I ain't listen at the point. That ain't all on him. I know he turned over the ball at the end, but they there was multiple occasions that caused him to get to that possession to turn over the ball.
It shouldn't have come. It shouldn't have come to that. It shouldn't have come to
No,
that.
yeah, it's the case that I'm making there. So, Jared Allen is doing what he has to as well too. Like, at some point, man, it's like, man, this Cavs team got all the way here just to get hurt. Donovan Mitchell, like, oh man, it's Utah all over again, dude. So,
Oh no.
but to the Cavs fans, humble yourselves too. Just like I told the Celtics fan, humble yourselves. You know what I'm saying? This is a long season. And listen, y'all just need to act right, man. So hopefully you do come back, your players come back and have a good chance to come back as a pace. Because initially I had the Cavs winning this series. I knew it was gonna be a dogfight. I wasn't gonna say it was gonna be like a blowout, but I definitely had the Cavs win this series. And it's right now with injuries looking kind of different, huh?
It's just weird how you take someone like Ty Jerome, who for most of the season has been highly efficient off the bench,
Mm-hmm.
and like you put him in the starting role, and like he just doesn't know how to act. Like
Yeah.
that's the wildest part for me is just like simply just changing someone's role like that. They don't know what to do, and it's to a point where it's detrimental, and you hate to see it from the number one seed because like they've just been that team all year and they were setting all kinds of records and all that stuff, and to just get here now, you know, you're not so far away from the grand prize, and your team is just absolutely falling apart. It's unfortunate, man.
No, it really is, man. So now they go to Pacers, and I'm pretty sure like the Pacers fan gonna be going nuts. There's a chance for them, to go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, and yeah, man. So they're listen, go ahead and pull this out here, man. It's looking good for him right now, but I'm interested to see how this injury report is going to look for the Cavaliers if some of these guys can be back because they know it's a state, man. They just like the Celtics, they have to get game three as well too. Because if both of these teams go down in game three, either a gentleman's sweep or it's a sweep. It's over, man. It's over. I just don't see it a path for both of these teams to come back, especially dealing with the injuries that the Cavs are dealing with. So, all right, go to the West right now. The Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and this is got the Minnesota Timberwolves down 0-1. The Warriors did get one on the road. In the midst of them winning, Steph Curry did go down with a strained left hamstring. Projected to miss games 2, 3, and 4, and to be reevaluated around game 4, see if he can be clear for game 5. Um, so while they did win, Paul, talk to me about the impact of them losing Steph Curry.
I mean, is there a more important player to probably lose? Like, obviously, Jimmy Butler, massive. Like playoff Jimmy is in full effect. Um, and just the reemergence of Buddy Hield. Like, I feel like if he's gonna shoot the way he's shooting, like you're not gonna really miss Steph all that much because Buddy Hield's knocking down 5 threes a game. But like it does change the game plan a little bit. You're gonna see a lot more, Draymond being your ball handler. Uh, but it's just Minnesota is such a big team, and I think like they started off slow in game one. They got down. They made kind of a run late. Anthony Edwards didn't score like in the first like quarter and a half.
Missed
So
his
like
first
he's
six
gonna be
shots.
he's gonna be a lot more aggressive. And I think like it's one of those things where like their best players out, so it's like you got to jump on them early. So I just expect a complete shift in how game one was to how game two is. I just don't think Jimmy Butler can carry that Warrior team by himself because they're really not that good. Like they can shock you a game here, a game there. Like you can, but like if I have to deal with Draymond Green, Brandon Pajinski, Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield, and like Gary Payton the third or whatever, like I'm good. Like there's not enough there. The Jonathan Kaminga doesn't really play a lot anymore. Whatever's going on with him, they're not the biggest team in the world. So it's just like Steph going down, just kind of it's unfortunate because like I feel like they could have shocked some people, especially with how Steph was playing. Um, but like Minnesota's the better team, and like to lose the first one or whatever, like just kind of get caught off guard. I think like Steph going down, and then like just Golden State playing how they played after the injury, like they just took it in stride. Like Draymond got hot. He was hitting some threes. Buddy Hield hitting some threes. Like there was a lot going on there that I think just caught Minnesota off guard, and they didn't have the firepower to come back into the game. But as you see, they're up like 13-0 right now. Like this is gonna be a it's gonna be a rough road for the Golden State Warriors if Steph Curry can't play.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you, man. This is, I mean, when last time Draymond hit like 4 threes? I mean, I
Right.
really got to look that up. I can't remember last time he hit that many threes. Um, Buddy Hill, I feel like he's had some the last 2 games have been strong from him, but before then he's pretty much been a no show. It was like asking where Buddy Hill. He was on milk cartons, so now he's he's looking pretty well now. So let's see how he look without that gravity that Steph Curry pulls in. So Anthony Edwards, man, he missed his first 10 shots, and so I felt like and there was a lot of noise about calling him out, man. Listen, a lot of guys ping you. You beat the Lakers. You beat the Golden Boy and LeBron James that everybody pins him to be. He's still the face of the league. You got Luka Doncic. So Lakers was, the team that was expected to go to the finals, which a lot of people, me and myself and Paul included, thought that was a little crazy that you thought the Lakers would go that far without a big man. But to the
What do
most
we
part,
know? We don't know anything.
we don't know anything, but 5 for 29 in that first game from the Timberwolves. They get 3 happy too, especially Anthony Edwards. I don't like when he sold. Same thing with Tatum. Anthony Edwards, you're blessed with a talent to go to the rim and get to the rim and explode and dunk on anybody. Drive, man. Just drive sometimes when the shot's not falling. Figure it out. Get to the line. See a couple go in. Stop shooting these threes, man. Especially all the talent you have, you need to stop selling. And that's the thing that get me same thing with Anthony Edwards sometimes. He'll sit there and settle and take all these threes. That's the problem that they kind of ran into. So 5 and 29. This is a team that is 4th best in the league at 3-point percentage with 37.7. And Chris Finch was right to criticize Anthony Edwards because I was like, I hope they say something about him. And he came out and said the right thing. What's there to talk about? You leader the team, set the tone. And you need to set the tone. If your shot's not falling, find other ways to contribute. And he ended up scoring like 22 of his points in like in the second half, and then kind of the stat line. If you didn't watch the game, you were like, oh, okay,
He
Anthony
had
Davis still
double
had a
digit
solid game.
rebounds too, right? He was
Yeah,
crashing the glass. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, hey, listen, he owned it. He knows that he can play better, and we'll see what happened here. But yeah, with Steph Curry going down, I definitely thought the series could have won the distance with Steph Curry, but with him down, honestly, like you said, bro, this game will probably be a wrap here soon. I feel like we'll be watching OKC in Denver game 2. That is to be a blowout, and I'm going about my night and close it up. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like if the Minnesota team will come out to play like they supposed to, and hell on this team that's undersized, and a lot of people think, oh yeah, Jimmy Butler's that dude, he'll get in there, which he is. I like Jimmy Butler. But there's the makeup of this, and listen, the Warriors since they added Jimmy Butler has been the best defensive team since All-Star break. So they do know how to defend well with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. But Brandon Podeskins, you got all these other guys. Are they going to step up to the plate? Buddy Hill, he had a great game. Can he do it? Moses Moody, he didn't show up in game 1. He went cold. Jonathan Kuminga, where you just mentioned his role is questioned now. What's his future look like for the team? Who knows? Um, so yeah, man, I'm definitely in this series and see if Curry gonna try to give it a go. But this let me know that also Curry he's actually human. He's slowing down. He's getting older. So maybe the way he plays, where he's always kind of cutting through screens and on constant motion, maybe that's something that be evaluated by Steve Kerr next year. How you gonna use Curry next year? Because obviously you need to keep his legs fresh and he can't keep going through screens and creating the gravity that he has. Because now look at this, he's got a strained left hamstring. This is the first time in his career that he had to deal with something like this. So how do we go with this going forward in the long term? Since if Steph Curry is going to sit around here and play the game of basketball at a high productive level that he has been playing at, so that's a question to really ask about Steph Curry injury and how does it affect them in the future beyond this series. Um, let's go into and talk about the Nuggets and the OKC Thunder. So the first game was 121 to 119. That was on an Aaron Gordon game-winning 3-point shot.
That's your boy,
And then
bro. Your boy's having a
AG,
hell of a postseason from your boy
yeah,
AG.
I'm telling you, AG. And then come to turn around, Okay, well, OKC said, okay, you hit it with a game winner? Bet. We come out and splash y'all 149 to 106. Uh, and OKC Thunder became the first home team to win a game at home. So, uh, Paul, talk to me about this series and where you expect it to be and where you think it's going to go.
Uh, I mean, go, the Nuggets are, a one trick pony from a guy who's got a whole bunch of ponies and horses and stuff like that. But like Jokic, they go as Jokic gets them, and it's just like it's like I don't even have the stat here, but I need to know what like the usage percentage for Jokic is. 'Cause it's got to be like 90%. Like he touches the ball, like he facilitates the offense, he grabs the rebound, he scores. Like he's the guy that makes that offense go, and it's like for him to only score 17 and have 8 rebounds, to see Jokic with a plus minus of -36 is it's crazy, man. Like that's the game plan. Just don't let Jokic go off. Like he had a wild game one. Like 40 something points, like 20 rebounds, whatever he was doing. It's just like if you don't allow that to happen, like you got nothing to worry about, bro. Like if you're OKC, your starting lineup, Shea had 34, Lou Dort had 12, Hartenstein had 14, Chet Holmgren had 15, and Jalen had 17. Like that wins you a basketball game right there. Like you don't have to beat them by 40. Like you just off the starting lineup, you still would have won by like 10.
Yeah, I'm
But
telling you.
it's just crazy to see because this is the OKC team that we expected to come out, and like we said earlier in the show, they're one of these teams that like when Denver got down and made that run to get back in the game and take the lead, they're bad at playing from behind. So you have to understand that like you have to get the jump on them, and if you can't, this is what happens to you.
Yeah, nah. You're right, man. I'm looking at uh Joker users in the playoffs so far. There's 28%. So, um, next one behind is like I think Jamal Murray at like 24%. But to your point, is that yeah, man, Joker to get used a lot, and it was crazy because, and I love how you mentioned that. By the way, it was like they get blown out, but for like the first game that they won, there was a whole narrative like, oh yeah, Nuggets got plenty of help. When this changed? We've been saying the whole year that Jokic didn't have no help. That's why we've been
None.
trying to push him for the MVP award. So now that Aaron Gordon hit a three, and Aaron Gordon hooped, don't get me wrong, he's been great. But now this whole narrative changed for one game that, oh, they got plenty of help. No, they don't. And it was evident in game two when they got blown out this bad. And now, I mean, listen, was it part that Denver settled that they got the split? Sure, that could be it. But I, listen, listen, I would say this to OKC Thunder: do it again on Denver. Send a message again. Do it again because y'all do it again. I just let me know game one. Basically, Aaron Gordon, who is not a strong three-point shooter in the first place, was a fluke. I'm happy for him. Hey, glad that it happened. And of course, everybody was tweeting out, "Oh, Orlando got screwed with this trade." No, they didn't. Aaron Gordon needs to be in the position where he can play along a high uses big man, and this kind of was duplicated when he played with Vooch,
Mm-hmm.
and in a sense where he had a big man that was unselfish. And I'm not and listen before any of you guys get on TikTok saying I'm trying to compare Vooch to joke the Joker. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that there was a familiarity where he played near a big man that had a similar skill set as Nikola Jokic. That's all I'm saying. So don't come in my mentions talking about I'm trying to compare the two. I'm not trying to do that. But what I am trying to say is that we did try to put Aaron Gordon in a role to be successful, and it just didn't happen that way. And it works out for him. So say Orlando bust that trade and the assets we got back, we wouldn't have got a chance to get our yard star. So I'm not mad at it. I'm happy for AG. And he seems he found a home in Denver. Great area for him. He was out on the streets with the fans when they won the title. He seemed happy there. And he's got a role there. And I know he lost his brother, and it was cool to see him with his nephews on the podium. And that was a cool moment to see, man, because, at the end of the day, Aaron Gordon is a wonderful person. Met him here in Orlando. He's a fantastic person. Wish him nothing but the best. Um, but I still feel like that OKC Thunder will probably win this series in 5 or 6 games. Not a slight at, Joker, and then I know this whole narrative where Russell Westbrook is coming back to OKC where he started his career, and there's, can he win it there? Can he do that there? Can he knock off this young and up and coming team in the OKC Thunder who's number one in the West and was able to get here and whatnot? But um I feel like that this Thunder team is too much for them. Now, honestly, how I would do this, Paul, if it was me, let Joker get his own. You got Hardenstein, you got Chet Holmgren playing 1-on-1. Let everybody else score. Let somebody else beat you. Stay home with everybody else and let Joker go for 50, 60, wherever you want to go for. But everybody else, you stay home. Don't give Jamal Murray a chance to go off. Don't give Aaron Gordon a chance to go off. Don't even give Michael Porter Jr. a chance to go off. Stay home and guard Joker 1-on-1. Let him figure it out with the passing lanes and go from there. That's how I would defend this for the rest of the series.
It's the whole thing too that we've mentioned before with OKC, right? Just they're just a team of young guys too, man. Like they can just run all night long, dude. Like that's the thing is they could exhaust you, like with their pace if they want. Like, they can get up and down. They can beat you so many ways. Like they're not a great 3-point shooting team. They're an efficient 3-point shooting team. Like I think most of that team is just efficient. They're efficient in a lot of things. They rebound well. They're very efficient in defense, forcing turnovers, fast breaks. Like in of ways to score, they are just incredibly efficient, and that's what they have going for them. Is like if something's not really working, they have another place to pivot and get to, and then you have a Shea who can just get to the rim whenever he wants. He can take that mid range whenever he wants. If he starts getting hot, he can start knocking down threes. Chet can hit the three. So I mean, it's tough, man, and it's hard for Jokic. And like, I feel like this is a series where like you're really gonna see like just how important he is to that team. Like, obviously, it's Shea's year to win MVP. I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but like, if you take Jokic off the Nuggets, bro, like they might be the Wizards. Like straight up, like it's not good. So like he is the most valuable player, like by the term of just what he is. I don't think anyone is more valuable to their team than Nikola Jokic is to the Denver Nuggets. But it's just too much firepower, man. And like Russ is gonna be Russ. Like, he had what 19 points in 21 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, highly efficient, but like plus minus of 30. So they were outscored by 30 with him on the floor. So yeah, he was scoring, but he didn't seem like he was stopping anybody else from scoring. Uh, just Denver had a bad game. Like I don't expect this to like Jokic was 6 for 16. He fouled out. Like when last time Jokic fouled out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Gordon was 3 for 12. Michael Porter Jr. 2 for 10. Christian Braun 1 for 6. Like I mean, it was ugly. And again, I don't know how much of that is like you're down, so you're just trying to get back in the game. So you're just taking shots. Like
Yeah.
that could be skewed a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see like you know it's similar to kind of like they were up 20 something in game one, blew the lead, lost. Then they come out and they win by 40 in game two. Like somewhere in the middle is where this series is going to be. Like I don't like they're probably like 10 to 15 points better than the Nuggets on their best night. And like I think that's probably where the series is going to stand. I wouldn't be surprised if OKC just went out and just clapped them the next 3 games and made it a wrap. But we'll see.
Yeah, man. Like I said, hey, listen, this the whole first game ones was just a fairy tale written. It was just so many storybook endings. It was cool, man. If it was a Final Four, yeah, this would be devastating. All these teams losing. That's the beautiful thing about the NBA playoffs. Do it 4 more times. Do it 3 more times. Do it 3 more times. So let's see. The Knicks are up. Knicks, do it 2 more times. You got the Celtics on the edge. Do it 2 more times. Pacers. Well, if the Caps will bring nobody back, well, just close business. And I just do. I'm so impressed with playoff basketball right now. Like you said at the beginning of the show, man, it has been a blast just as a fan watching this, man. And I really hope, besides all the you know, everybody run their mouths doing some shit talking, man. I hope y'all really are enjoying some playoff basketball because this is legit, as Paul mentioned. It's probably some of the best playoff basketball I have seen in quite some time. And it's really been special, man. So I hope none of us is really taking this for granted. And let's see where we go at, man. I'm super excited to see where these playoffs kind of take us, man. We got here to the second round, so
Long as we ain't shooting 63s a game, I think we'll be okay. Because like
yeah.
a lot of these series, they've been very physical, and the refs have been letting them play for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time where I've had an issue, and this might hit you a little bit, I felt like they didn't let the Magic and be physical in that last game against Boston when Paolo got like 3 fouls real early. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the refs kind of just like took the physicality out of that game. And then obviously that rolled over into the first Knicks game. Like Towns was in immediate foul trouble, like Hart was in foul trouble, and then like the game kind of worked its way
Slowed a little
back
bit.
in. But
Yeah.
like it seemed like the refs tried to establish like, hey, we're not gonna let this get out of control, so we're gonna call it a certain way, and then it balances out towards the end of the game. But aside from that, like this series has been all these series have been pretty physical. I mean, these Western Conference series have been real physical. I'm here for it, dude. I'm. It reminds me of just the good old basketball of the good old days when I was a kid.
Absolutely, man. So looking forward to it, man. It's been great. And I know y'all see me initially with no headset now at my desk, but my MacBook is kind of went to greener pastures for now. I don't think it's coming back, but the iPad's working just fine. Apparently Paul is hearing me great. So
You look good
I
too,
haven't
man.
used.
Looks real clear. You look good.
Yeah, man. Well, I said I ain't got my light. Usually I have my light on my Mac, so I'm like, it's really good, man. So the iPad Air is looking fantastic right now. I take it. So, Paul, anything else you want to add, man? We good here?
No, man, we're good, bro. Just again, let's just shout out to Celtics Talk Weekly for having me and Cortez on this postseason. So we appreciate the collaborations and everybody who watches our shorts and our videos and comments and likes, regardless of how angry or hateful your comments might be. We still look at them and we still appreciate them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Engagement is engagement.
Yeah.
Shout out Cortez getting like 4,000 hits on his Celtics video. But y'all are seeing if y'all like y'all may have misinterpreted what my man said because if you've been watching the TV the last couple weeks, all they talk about is next year the CBA. What's going to happen? Someone's going to go. So
And look at that.
be
That's what they've been
prepared.
bringing up. Man, that's
Be
what they've been
prepared.
bringing up.
You're gonna
So,
y'all gonna be eating some crow when somebody's got to go, pal. So you're welcome.
yep. And I appreciate all the, like I said, the people following us. I'm pretty sure Cheese says they want to collaborate with me and Paul. Football's coming around, so we get on there. I've been messing around with playback, trying to work with that. So we had a great time with the NFL, draft where we kind of did that live. That stream was freaking awesome. So working on trying to get some stuff. I got approved by playback to be a host and can use the NBA. So CJ, I'm gonna have CJ try to host that a little bit and do it with baseball too, so we continue to get hits and stuff out there. So working on some things, man. We're trying to slowly work on some things, man. So just bear with us, man. We appreciate you guys tapping in for sure. That's
Yeah, bro.
100%. Um, let's close it out. So let's make sure y'all stay tuned for us during the week. Playoffs, NBA playoffs has been a hit. It's been fantastic. So excited to get more content out there. You can follow the podcast page at BOC Podcast on Twitter or S whatever you call it nowadays. P Mac, get the people your socials.
Yes, sir. I'm on X at the _Paul_Mac and on Instagram at the Paul Mac 520.
Absolutely. You can find me at Endemana CP on X. Also, you can go on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, same name, BIOC Podcast. Give us a like, comment, shout there. Facebook is Balls Not Court Podcast. Give us a like, comment, shout there as well. Um, we're on Anchor, so that way this should goes over to Spotify. So you can get us on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, on where you found us before. Still check us out every Thursday on Red.fm. I just gave them a bunch of links that we still have some shows and rotations over there. Got some new hats out, man. So let me know y'all want to tap in with some hats. I still old Paul one. I'm working on that. But yeah, man, I've been getting nice coming about the hats, man. So I got to make sure I use the gray. It looks great. So y'all need one, holler at your boy. But that'll do it for us, man. So thanks for tuning in. Speaking for Mr. Paul Matt, Cortez Paul, Balls Not Court Podcast. Happy hoops, everybody.
Peace.